Romans 13, that's one of my favorite quotes in the Bible. Let every man, let every soul be subject to the higher power. A number of different translations use different words there, but the common modern consensus is that it means that we're supposed to remain subject to government. That seems strange since God led the Israelites through Moses out of the government of Egypt. Abraham left the government of Haran and the government of Ur. That Babylon was a wicked government. The first government was Cain's city-state. And we were told several places in the Bible to never return to the bondage of Egypt, where the people had to pay 1/5 of everything they owned to, or earned in a given year, to the government. And the government provided them with some sort of welfare in the case of emergencies. But the early Christians were talking about the perfect law of liberty. And the word that we see there translated power in Romans 13 is one of 7 or more different words in the Greek language that are translated power. It's also translated liberty. It's translated right in the same Bible, in the King James. If you ask Plato or Aristotle, they would tell you that it not only meant liberty, but it's the strongest word in the Greek language for liberty. So if we were to put the word liberty there, it would read quite a bit different. Let every man remain subject to the higher liberty, because all liberty is of God. There is no liberty but of God, and anyone who opposes liberty opposes God. As a matter of fact, they go on to say that if you oppose that liberty, you will go into damnation. God is about setting men free, giving them the right to choose. He endows them with certain inalienable rights. But men goes out and creates governments. Governments are created by men. They are endowed with their powers by men. And that is our fault if governments have too much power. It's usually because we've neglected our responsibilities. If you want your rights back, you have to take back your responsibilities, which is why both in the Old and the New Testament, you hear men like Paul saying, what should have been for your welfare has become a snare. Because we resist liberty. We slothfully go to governments that call themselves benefactors, but exercise authority one over the other. And coveting our neighbor's goods, we require those governments to take from our neighbor for our welfare. And through that covetousness, we are made merchandise. And we lose access to those rights that God wants us to have, because those rights, that right to choose, that right to make choice, is what makes us a man and not a thing. An instrument, a resource for somebody else's desires and will. That is a theme you'll find throughout the entire Bible. So yes, let every man remain subject to the higher power, the higher right to choose, the higher liberty, because all liberty is of God, and there is no liberty but of God. And anyone who opposes liberty opposes God.